Welcome back to the video. My name is Willie, and today I'm going to be going over with the techniques that I use to catch sheep's head. Everybody in my last probably 6 or 7 videos has been asking me what jigs do I use, what hooks do I use, what pound leader do I use, combinations of what I throw to catch these sheep's head size reel, rod. So pretty much what I'm doing today is I'm going to be going over the techniques that I like to use to catch sheep's head. It can vary depending on the area you're fishing at, depending on the time of the year, depending on so many things. But when I sheep's head fish, these are the techniques that I like to use pretty much everywhere I go. If I go to the jetties, I might downsize my leader just a little bit, just because the fact of the water is so much clearer. So instead of doing like 20-25 pound tests, I'll probably do like 15-pound tests. The max I would throw is like a 20 in crystal clear water like Sarasota, Venice, the Skyway, things like that. I would go ultralight, probably throw like a 2,500 size reel, probably 10-pound braid, probably 15 to 20-pound leader, and probably 1/8 ounce jig, or it just depends on the current flow, how much current you got. Some places, deeper water, things like that. If you're using bigger crabs, you can put on like a 1/2 ounce jig. I don't typically go over an 1/8 ounce jig. If the current's moving too fast for me to throw over an 1/8 ounce jig, then I probably just won't even sheep's head fish. I'll probably wait till it slows down or come back at a later date, bite, tide, whatever. It just depends on the situation. But 9 times out of 10, I'm throwing jigs. So I'm pretty much gonna tell you guys the jigs that I like to throw. These are the jigs I like to throw right here. If you guys can see those, a little 1/8 ounce pink is my absolute favorite color. Next, I will throw like a red right there. If you guys can see that. These are my favorite techniques on how I fish for sheep's head. I just do it with a regular clench knot on there. And these absolutely work amazingly. They're super sharp. So as soon as you set the hook, I will say though, with these jigs, probably after about 10, 15 fish, maybe 20, depends on the size that you're catching, you're gonna dull out the hook a little bit. So if you have a hook sharpener or you just got another jig, tie on the jig. It's not saying that the jig won't work no more, but sheep's head, if anybody knows how to catch sheep's head or about sheep's head, they have that thick layer of just teeth that's just crunched together right on the top of the lip. So 9 times out of 10, that's where you're trying to penetrate. So if this jig starts getting a little bit dull, then there's no way you're gonna sit there and penetrate that teeth. Like, you want it super sharp, so it either splits the teeth, go inside the gum, go inside the lip, wherever. But when you set the hook, you want that thing to absolutely just penetrate deep, so you know you got a good hook set on that fish. Anytime, anywhere, any place, any time of the year, if I'm sheep's head fishing, this is what I'm throwing. Another technique that a lot of people I know use pretty much everywhere, if you know JC, Right Reel and Fishing, my buddy here, Captain Mike, Chum 'em Up Charters. I know a couple other captains that use this technique. I don't have any more split shots to show you, but they take a 1-out hook right there with a little split shot, either right on the hook or 6 inches up, 10 inches up, 12 inches up, depending on your preference. And they just let that weight just pretty much let that little split shot hit the bottom, and all you're doing is your little crab is dangling like this, or a piece of a shrimp, or a fiddler crab, or whatever you use to catch the fish. So I like this technique if I'm throwing like oysters or if I'm using barnacles. I will go no split shot, take the oyster, put it on the hook, and just literally throw it out as far as I can. I mean, you won't get that far, and just let the line out and just let that piece of oyster drop down the water column. And then once it gets down there, it's pretty much almost instantaneously, if you're on the bite or if you're on the fish, if they're there in the area, they love oyster. That's probably, I would say, the #1 bait to actually use for sheep's head is gonna be oysters. Secondly, it's gonna be a crab. Third is gonna be like a shrimp, or I know a lot of people use like bloodworms, or just I forgot what they're called, but they're another type of worm. Like, you pretty much use them in bass fishing. I think they sell them at like Walmart or something like that. But my top 3 baits that I'm gonna use no matter what, my favorite, as you guys know, is mangrove crabs. That's my ultimate favorite. favorite bait to use. But if you're in a different area, it could vary. I know a lot of people do very good on fiddler crabs. I know a lot of people that do good on shrimp. I know people that do good on oysters, anything like that. But my top 3 is going to be the oysters #1, mangrove crabs #2, fiddler crabs #3. That's the 3 top best baits in my area, period. Like, if you got one of those 3 and you're targeting sheep's head, you're going to catch them if they're there. Guaranteed. There's no questions about that. But these jigs that I use right here, pretty much I have them in every color. I got pink here, red here. I also have them in green. I have them with no paint at all. And I also have them in white as well. Right there. Got them in white. And then I also have the last color. Last color I would use is the black. So I pretty much have 5-6 different colors of these jigs, and I absolutely love them. Like, I have probably at least 60 of these jigs just in my tackle box. I mean, like I said, these are my favorite jigs to use any time of the year, any place, wherever I'm going sheep's head fishing. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be throwing a jig. I just personally think I feel the bite better with the jig. It holds the bottom right where you want it. Like, if you're throwing it off next to a dock, you want it right next to a pole, it's going to hit. If the current's not moving too much, it's going to stick. So if those sheep's head are swarming around that pylon, 9 times out of 10, if they come across that crab, they're going to eat. They love crabs. So that's why I love using a jig, because it can keep me in position, and every single little tap or anything that they do with that bait, you feel it in the line. That's why I love using a light tackle line. 15-pound braid, 10-pound braid, max I would do is 20. I love doing the 10 to 15-pound braid. That's just my personal preference. Pretty much what I throw is, I was throwing a 3,000 pin, but I was sheep's head fishing the other day and I cracked the handle on it, so I stripped out the gear. But my second best is going to be the Fenor Lethal. This is a 4,000. It has 15-pound braid, 20-pound leader, and as I said, this is my favorite jig to use. It's going to be this pink jig, and I literally hooked the crab. Let me get it close enough so you can see. I hooked the crab just like this. Just like that. Right through the underbelly, right through the top of the shell, and he just stays on hold just like this. And when I say these fish loves it, when this jig hits the bottom, it lays like this, and if it hasn't been on for a while, which this crab has, it'll sit there just like that, just laying on the bottom. Dude, they absolutely crush it every single time. This is my favorite setup to throw. And this is also, I think this is a 7.6 medium rod. I was using like a medium light or light, but when you get into those 20-inch sheep's head, 18-inch sheep's head, when you set the hook, you're gonna want that fish head to turn. Like, as soon as you set the hook, you're gonna want to turn his head. And using those light rods is good for sensitivity and being able to feel the bite. But when you set the hook, it's so much bend in the rod that you don't start turning that fish until you start cranking on the reel. I like when I set the hook, the rod is already turning that fish's head. Just like snook fishing. If you guys snook fish, and you guys know, sorry, it's a little warm out here. If you guys snook fish, and you know exactly, you throw that white bait out there, that shrimp, that snook eat, you crank down, you set the hook, and you want that fish's head to turn and either start coming with you, or at least you know you penetrated enough to actually get that hook set in there. That's why I went up to a medium-sized rod, 7'6". That's so when I set the hook, I know the first initial hook set is gonna be turning that fish's head. I'm happy with that. That way, if I'm next to a dock, a pylon, on the bridge, on structure, my first hook set is a strong hook set. Drag is kind of tight, not too tight to where it won't come out of the reel, but it's just tight enough so when I set, you can almost hear the drag come out, but it actually just pulls on the fish. At that point, I know I got a good hook set. 9 times out of 10, if I set the hook on a fish, it's almost penetrating that fish because I make sure I set it very hard, very fast, very stiff, you know. But no matter where I go, this is the setup I'm gonna throw. I don't care where I'm at, anywhere. I threw it in Tampa, St. Petersburg. We just had a fishing tournament up there, a sheep's head tournament. This is the exact single outfit that I use, and we got second place out of 60 teams. This is the setup I use right here. The Fenor 40 series, 20-pound test, 15-pound test, and that 1/8 ounce jig hooked on the mangrove crab right there. That's the technique. I don't do nothing more, nothing heavier, nothing lighter. That's what I'm gonna use 9 times out of 10. I do like that. I also sometimes will try a free line if the current's like, if the fish is being finicky, or if the current is really like stagnant, very slow, coming to the end of the tide or getting ready to start at the beginning of the tide, I will take a crab and throw it out there and just free line it and just let it fall. Nice and slow, nice and gentle right on the dock. So if they see that crab falling, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna follow it down or they're gonna hit it in the water column. Every time. That's just what they do. Sheep's head can be very aggressive, but they also can be very skittish as well. Anybody that catches them, you guys know this. They're a very aggressive fish. They see the crab, they're gonna hit it. They almost hit, I think they're bait stillers even more than snappers. If I had that, they'll come there, crush the crab, spit it back out. If they haven't got the hook, they'll come back, crush it again. On that second or third bite is when I'm setting the hook. I'm probably setting the hook on the second bite, because the first one, they inhale it, crush it, spit it out. The second time they come back, they know the crab's already crushed and they're gonna come back to eat it. That second hit, maybe the third, depending on how big my crab is, I'm setting the hook. I don't care if I miss it or not. I'm setting the hook on that second or third every single time. That's just how I am. And my hookup ratio, like I said, is probably out of 10, I'm probably 70%, 80% hookup ratio. I take that. I'll take that, because sometimes sheep's head fishing, I mean, you can hook into 10, 15 fish and just not to get the hook and penetrated in between their teeth or in their mouth, or just not even get the hook set at all. But I just wanted to come here and pretty much show you guys my technique, what I like to use, what I like to throw. And this is pretty much from the beginning, from the middle of December here, all the way to the end of January, maybe a week into February is what I'm doing. I'm doing sheep's head fishing. After that, the water temps start warming up. We're done with pretty much our cold front. We might have 1 or 2 here or there. After that, these sheep's head are gonna migrate offshore, start spawning, and then we're not gonna be in sheep's head season no more. Don't get me wrong, you can catch sheep's head pretty much all year here. They just won't be 10, 15 on a dock. There'll probably be 1 or 2 on a dock, or every other dock, or something like that. So pretty much, I'm probably got 1 more sheep's head video in me, probably, to actually go target them before I start getting back on the trout, the snapper, snook, and things like that. So I just pretty much want to give you guys a pretty much a good demonstration of what I like to use. I mean, you guys see the technique in all my videos, and you guys love the techniques. Some of you guys use the same techniques already, and I just wanted to give you guys a knowledgeable, session of what I like to throw for sheep's head. Everybody's been asking. I figured, let's just do the video. Let's just show you guys. Let's get it out there. Hopefully you guys actually go do this technique, and I hope you guys actually love this technique. And on another note, I met a YouTube subscriber out here, and they're down here from Wisconsin. His name is Wes, and he also got a son named Hank. Absolutely great, amazing people. I told him I would definitely give him a shout out on the next video. Hank, this is for you, buddy. I hope you get out there and catch some fish. Guys, if you like this video, please do me a favor. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I drop a video. Now, I'm about to go fishing. Tide's starting to run in. Let's go. Hopefully we can make a video. Guys, until the next one, tight lines. Peace. Woo!